I think somebody.
Here are the basic elements. For starters, here's where I place their favorite bird feeder at the end of the course. And to sweeten the deal, right below that, there's a trap door. And if they step here, it releases a butt ton of walnuts and unfurls some celebratory banners. Why walnuts? I'm glad you asked. I'm using walnuts because over the course of a week, I put out a buffet of 7 different nuts and seeds. And all 4 times I repeated the experiment, walnuts were always the one they ate first. What's great about placing this here is it levels the playing field, as the birds can fly up and get as much food as they want anytime they need it. The squirrels, however, will have to work for it, because the only way to make it to this platform is if they work their way through my 8-part Ninja Warrior obstacle course, which all starts right here. This is the only platform.
Oh, yo, what's up, Christian?
Slippery stuff, which means this is where they have to climb up to enter the course. If they try and get up any other way,
what?
They can't keep a good.
We're not gonna boot me.
Huh? Loser fruit set, bursting with color, loser fruit during the icon switch. Alright, no, oh, wait.
And then you slide back down. So the first challenge is the Bridge of Instability. Now this may look easy, but the trick is it attaches at a single point on each end.
Oh, hi, nobody's Roblox.
It's the same deceptive
I'm
principle
gonna stay up until like 3 or 4. Oh, okay, Christian.
Basically scams and the science on how to beat them. Next up, the maze of 1,000 corridors. This one's a bit more cerebral, but if they make it through that, go around to the pitchfork tumblers, which are inspired by the show Wipeout. But unlike Wipeout, I should point out that all these contraptions are squirrel friendly, and even with a little back force, they will break away and stop spinning. Now, if they can make it past the pitchfork tumblers of treachery, they come to one of my personal favorites, the home wrecker.
Oh yes, sí, te recuerdo. Wait, Terrence, Bro, bye.
And it connects to a microcontroller that has a relay that
Bro,
connects to a solenoid that connects to a pneumatic piston that connects back to this platform with the
Sí
pressure
te recuerdo.
They've got to start the course all over again.
Oh, okay, Christian.
Bridge of Deception. I've suspended a juicy wall
Stop.
right in the middle, but there's no way this bridge will support their weight, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach it.
You said what?
You said what?
This challenge is called the tourist trap. It's actually a bit of a reward for making it this far. If this squirrel sticks their head through this board my wife painted,
You said what?
they can hang on the wall.
Okay.
What's up, guys? I'm back to been playing some more Fortnite, and today I'm Alright, let's go. Come on, dude. What's the
walnut here is an incentive for them not to miss this unique opportunity. The penultimate challenge are the quad steps of great elevation. This is an extreme for Ninja Warrior, and this is super tricky because these pads are all totally smooth and placed at a 45-degree incline. And now for the last challenge. At this point,
bien.
but if they're not careful, they'll have to deal with the orbital assist platform.
You said what? I never said anything about inviting. Yo, Savage, get ready, please.
Wait, what?
Get ready.
AKA the final countdown. AKA it's not a catapult, it's a squirrelapult. Which means they now have to go back and start all the way over from the beginning. Now, if they want to avoid that fate, they just need to stay on this pad for less than 3 seconds. But once again, I've placed a diversion here. This one projects an optical illusion of anything you place in the bottom of this dish. It's actually super trippy and looks even more impressive in real life because the projected image is 3D. They're like 9 books on Amazon, and I put a link that explains the juicy physics of how they work in the video description. Now, with regards to squirrel safety, I always seem to have this reputation of...
Come on.
What? Stop. Stop.
Improvised high-speed projectiles. Someone might worry if
what?
lovers out.
Yeah, I caught both of you.
Yes, I do remember you. Yes, sir. Yes, I do remember. Bro, dude, just kick we'll play with them later. Actually, I will. It's one of my friends. It's one of my friends! Bro, kick him and make the party private.
So when my cousin's on, don't tell me kicking. I'm not kicking. So when there's time going to get you, so who coming to get me first?
Me. My wife. We have 5 pets and 1 child. And the child was the only one I had saved. So rest assured, I can adjust the pressure on the piston, and we'll be staying way below.
Nice shot. Oh, I almost got you in the head. GG.
We're back here at the world's most satisfying bird feeder. As far as I'm concerned, if they make it here, they've earned the right to gorge next to the birds for as long as they want. And so after nearly a month of prep work, the course was officially open for business.
Nice shot.
At the final station, right about that was their favorite bird feeder.
Bro, come on, bro.
And so before long, we had our first contender.
No, no.
Alright, let's go. Bro, wait, pause, bro.
So Rick decides to read.
Alright, let's go.
Speaking of which, that's Rick.
Bro!
That will be attempting the course. First up is Rick, and he weighs 500 grams. I know this because he's actually standing on a custom-made scale. Rick is very clever, as you'll see here in a minute, but he also... Next up is
Oh! Combo!
Our third contender is Frank, also coming in around 500 grams. He's very
Bro, get
gutsy.
comboed on, man. That's one of my new
We've got
combos.
my personal favorite, Fat Gus.
Yay!
Charming and most
Better.
sees a camera.
Damn, nice shot. You're super low.
Selection and then gracefully leaping away. Fat Gus just goes for it. It's free. Just makes himself real comfortable. Here he is laying out with a light snack from...
Oh, you hear me? Oh, what happened? Why you leave?
The bird feeder. I mean, you can't fault the guy for just clearly appreciating a good meal. So now that you know our 4 contenders, let's get back.
Wow.
Bro.
Back to Rick. So he hops back on, and he's actually doing better than his first attempt. Just barely. This is the best because he's like, okay, I got this. Never mind. Well, maybe I know, I definitely don't. And this was the exact moment I realized I just might be outmatched here. Marty was watching Rick, and after a quick dip of his toes in the water, adopts the strategy right out the gate. Oof, so close. But an excellent recovery. And Fat Gus, perhaps predictably, comes up a little short. Which brings us to the Maze of 1,000 Corridors, which, to be honest, they mastered this one pretty quickly. Here's a solid run from Fat Gus. And now for the pitchfork tumblers of treachery. Marty was like, yeah, that's a hard pass. Fat Gus is just like, abort! Frank is just like, nope. Then he's like, wait a second. Still nope. Then Marty flies in real hot over the top. He didn't make it through, but that's partial credit as far as I'm concerned. And then here's Fat Gus with my favorite.
Yo, I can't play right now, bro. I'll play in a second.
And then Frank shows no fear, which helps him pull off this near-flawless run. And finally, Smart Rick surgically weaves his way through, essentially untouched. And I should mention that the squirrels are most active from 6 to 10 a.m., so every morning I've been getting up before the sunrise to start filming from in my house like one of those camouflage nature photographers, only like a suburbanized version. I've also had a handful of streaming cameras rolling 24/7, which has allowed me to make such discoveries as we have the world's worst guard dog. Thanks for the help, pal. Now back to the home She is a cruel mistress. And because I know my wife is going to ask me, no, this will not hurt the squirrel for 2 reasons. Number 1, they are amazing like cats and always land on their feet. And 2, they themselves were jumping from this height all the time, and in some cases, much higher. In fact, squirrels are one of the few mammals that can survive a fall from any height because they make their terminal velocity so low. You can see it right here. They make their body as flat as possible, then put their tail back to increase drag. They basically become their own parachute, and then right before they land, they pull in and fully extend their arms and legs to act as shock-absorbing landing gear. This is so cool. Now back to the course where even Smart Rick eventually lets his guard down, which is exactly when she strikes. But just like all the other obstacles so far, after a day or 2, they've mastered it. In this case, even disregarding her offering of a fresh walnut. Now onto the Slinky Bridge of Deception, and this was the sleeper obstacle in my book. That is not a large gap, which they can easily jump, but having the Slinky there just threw them off somehow. You can see how much Frank is struggling here, and he's the brave one. And Rick only jumps when Marty shows up for emotional support. But like all the obstacles so far, after a day or 2, they've mastered it. Now on to our third to last obstacle, the tourist trap. And this one was just...
Yo, I can't play right now, bro. I'm playing the second. Wait.
Really did the trick here. Now here comes Fat Gus, and I mean, how Fat Gus is this? He sees the camera and he's like, paint me like one of your French squirrels. Yeah? No? No takers? Alright. Here's another classic Gus where he looks at the camera. Wait a second. Play that back. And freeze. Zoom. Enhance. Well, turns out Fat Gus is not a dude. And he's pregnant. Which meant I was suddenly feeling real uncomfortable about all those weight comments. So after a bit of a pivot to smooth things over, we soldiered on to the quad steps of great elevation. Frank comes in rather confident, almost to his demise. But he pulls off the smooth recovery. So after not much time at all, they were looking pretty good here. In fact, one morning I noticed Marty totally skipped the last step altogether, which I took as a challenge, and so I removed the middle step to see what they would do. And who else but Fantastic Gus? Let's slow that down a bit. They're such amazing jumpers, so I suppose the quick mastery here wasn't a surprise. I mean, this right here is probably a 10-foot jump. And here's some classic brave but dumb Frank. He'd already entered the course normally and made it to the home wrecker at least a dozen times by this point. And yet for some reason, he decides this 12-foot jump is his best course of action. Smart Rick was the first one to enter the course, so in the end, after about a week of effort, it was fitting he was the one to make it to the jackpot first. And he's so stoked, he apparently wants to run the whole course in reverse. In hindsight, we probably should have made the jackpot a little quieter. Here's Marty, as always, not far behind. He's also a bit flighty, as you know, which worked against him here because down below Fantastic Gus, ever the opportunist, comes through with a real stroke of brilliance. But pretty soon Marty comes back like, I'm the one who kinda earned it. And then Fantastic Gus is like, you snooze, you lose, sucker. And might I just say, Fantastic Gus, when you sit like that, you don't look an ounce over 700 grams. Eventually they learned that sound was a good thing, and they quickly returned for their reward before Fantastic Gus got any ideas. So here's a single camera shot of a full run, and by the end, all of them could do the full course in less than 40 seconds. And while we're watching, you might be wondering what happened to the squirrel putt. Unfortunately, they didn't really fall for my illusion much, but I'm about to show you the 2 times they did. And as a promise to my wife, I turned the pressure to only 40% full power, so the acceleration the squirrel would feel is about half a G, which is 10 times less than a typical roller coaster. Additionally, I never turned on either the home wrecker trapdoor or the launch platform when I wasn't actively watching from inside my house, where I had a manual override button. Because as safe as it was, something about launching Fantastic Gus just didn't feel right. Now what you're about to see is going to look pretty chaotic, but when we check the slow-mo, amazingly, I'll show you how the squirrel is totally in control pretty much the whole time. Alright, now here's a second angle. Also, even if you don't trust my calculations, I can assure you that the squirrels did not care. In both launch cases, they were back up on the course in like 5 minutes. Here's the slow-mo and see if you can spot the 2 critical things he does to make sure he lands feet down. Did you catch it? The first critical moment is right here. He's already done the predictive math, and he's locked his head on the spot where he plans to land. And now his head will not lose that lock the whole way down. What's crazy is the time it takes him to do all the predictive math to know exactly where he will land and to lock his head is 300 milliseconds. That's exactly this long, literally less than the blink of an eye. That blows my mind, but if you think about it, it makes sense these reactions would have evolved to be razor sharp if you live your life in the trees, constantly making split-second decisions. And besides picking a landing spot with his head, the second trick is with his arms. When he wants to keep his upper body from rotating, he has his arms out. But the moment he wants to rotate his upper body quickly, he tucks them in. And then when he wants to stop rotating, he extends them out again. This is straight up conservation of angular momentum. It's the same trick ice skaters use. Basically, bring your limbs in if you want to rotate fast, extend them out if you want to slow the rotation. My buddy Destin from Smarter Everyday also made a video analyzing how cats always land on their feet, and they do the exact same 2 tricks. The head target lock and bringing limbs in to rotate and out to stop rotation. Here's the second launch. So this may look like pure luck in real time, but the slow-mo tells a different story. In that amount of time, he's already made a slight lateral push in that direction and locked his landing target with his head. We know from the previous clip he can rotate his body to any orientation, but he doesn't in this case because he sees his small push has already aligned him for the perfect landing. That's just so cool. And so after those 2 physics demonstrations, I disabled both the launcher and the home wrecker trapdoor and just let them enjoy the course in peace. As far as I was concerned, they had earned it, plus after spending a month together, we were sort of bros by this point. If they saw me coming out to work, they would certainly jump away, but then they'd just quickly be right back. And sadly, all good things must come to an end, and because I didn't want them to develop an unhealthy dependence on my handouts, after about a week of free reign, I took down the course, but in its place, I put up a specialized squirrel-sized picnic table. Every morning, this door opens to release just a few walnuts as a little treat to remind them of our good times together. Although I had to laugh that after all this, somehow I didn't anticipate on day 1, Frank would immediately try and figure out and partially succeed in finding a way to beat the system. Like everything else though, they quickly caught on, and now on some mornings I'll catch them just waiting for the daily ration, chilling patiently on the bench seat. That is everyone but Fantastic Gus. Don't ever change, buddy. When I started this 2-month-long adventure trying to birdwatch, I had no idea I would enjoy squirrel watching so much more. It's also made me realize that even amongst the structures and pavement and power lines, how interesting nature can be in a single suburban backyard if you just really stop to look. Even the plants are amazing. I had no idea that as vines grow, they spin around looking for something to grab onto. I didn't anticipate the wide variety of animals that use fences as inner-yard highways to get around as a substitute for all the trees that existed before we got here. Even little interactions like this spider extending his life with this very timely leap into the unknown were just so delightful to see. But of all the animals, I can definitively say now that squirrels are my absolute favorite, and they're certainly a more formidable adversary than porch pirates. They're kind of adorable, incredibly crafty, curious by nature, athletic, and persistent. Turns out squirrels can live to be 20 years old, and so I like to think that someday, Fantastic Gus will bring his grand squirrels to the fence and regale them with tales of cowboys and courage in the legendary walnut piles. If you find yourself bored and you like the idea of making a Squirrel Ninja Warrior course, but you don't have the skills or the squirrels, then here's basically the next best thing for my friends at KiwiCo. If you somehow don't already know, they deliver really cool monthly crates that are designed to flex your brain muscles as a maker and a creator, and be really fun at the same time. So for example, this one comes with kid-friendly build instructions, plus all the supplies you'll need to put it together, so there's never any extra trips to the store. Each one also includes a booklet that talks about the science principles and where you might see examples of this in real life. My family loves them, and their headquarters is like a 10-minute bike ride from my house, so I occasionally drop in to see their latest designs, like this super clever air hockey build. Instead of having the table have all the air, you do it in the puck. Check that out. The kids started, but unfortunately with Destin and I, their turn didn't last long. They have 8 different crate lines that cover the full STEAM spectrum from science and engineering to art and design, geared towards all different ages as well. So if you want to support my channel and you want a really fun way to grow your brain in all the right ways, go to cubico.com/markrober or use the link in the video description and you'll get your first month free. This also makes for a really great gift for any young person in your life. So thanks to Cubico for being so awesome, and thanks to you for watching. This guy stole my package, and he's about to open it in his house.
Hello.
But what he doesn't know is that this is a new and improved custom-built bait package that is recording him on 4 different cameras that just released a pound of the world's finest glitter, along with some other nasty surprises. What the f***? But to understand how we got to this point, we need to go back 1.5 years. Because that's when someone stole a package from my porch, and the police wouldn't do anything about it, even with the video footage, which made me sad. And so, drawing inspiration from one of my childhood heroes, I decided to make a bait package to lure would-be thieves, and the internet seemed to like it. But despite my best efforts, 1.7 million packages are either stolen or go missing every day. Hello? Calling Hogan. No, wait! I'm sorry. It's just that Home Alone was the entire inspiration for the glitter bomb.
No, that's cool. I love that. Just that I do other things with my life, like run my website, bunnyears.com. But seriously though, your design was good, but actually I think I can make it a little bit better.
As of the call itself, my friend Sean and I have literally spent the last 10 months designing, building, and testing a new and improved design for 2019. So today I'm going to walk you through all the upgrades and then show you what happens when you unleash 10 of these bait packages on random suburban porches all across America. We started with a complete redesign of the box to make it more streamlined and secure. For contrast, last year's design was a bit of a rat's nest. The fundamentals are still the same, where you have a battery-powered custom-printed circuit board on the bottom that has a built-in accelerometer, so it can sense when it's been jostled, and then it tells these 4 phones to start recording. And these are wide-angle lenses, so as you can see, you'll be able to record the thief no matter which side they open it from. And then right here we have some fart spray, but we added a second bottle this year. So as both these motors spin cams around, not only does it spray twice as much, but we changed the formula this time around, and it is wretched.
Dude. Oh, man. Oh, it's in my mouth, man.
I feel like I just ate a turd. Never done that, to be clear. And just to prove how much worse it was, I sprayed last year's formula labeled A, and then this year's formula labeled B for 10 different people without telling them which was which.
Oh. That's like proper poo. Oh, God. He just took a dump on my face. Oh. I can still smell it.
I'm sorry, I killed a golden corn. So, A or B? B by a mile. All 10 independently agreed this year's was much worse. And then we keep spraying it every 30 seconds to ensure they get rid of the package out of their house before they realize there's 4 phones inside. This increases our chances of recovering it since we already know the package location at all times due to the GPS tracking on all the phones. But even if we somehow don't recover it, all these phones have LTE data plans, so they'll upload their footage to the cloud right away so then we can see what happened. And then we have the main course, which is the spinning cup powered by a motor underneath here, which we fill with the finest glitter we could find, which is actually biodegradable this year as a nod to our good friend, Mother Earth. We also added sound effects this year, so after both the glitter and the fart spray have successfully deployed, we start counting down.
5, 4, 3.
Nothing actually happens at the end, but they won't know that. And then finally after that,
Or your 23.
We added some fake police scanner chatter, just because it seemed like the right thing to do. So as you can see, once you slip this cover over, it becomes nearly impossible to access the phones now without special tools. And so finally we've got the lid, which has these two holes here, which we cover with one-way film, so we can record the outside world even when the lid is on. And you'll notice this is a total custom print. These are the fictitious Buzz 700s, named of course after Kevin's older brother. And if thieves took just 2 seconds to actually inspect the package, they would see that all the words on the side are just slightly modified quotes from Home Alone, in addition to this amazing testimonial. And so then we just slapped on a fake shipping label and used a random barcode sticker to cover up the nightly charging port, and we were good to go. So the idea is, the bad guy comes sneaking by and then steals it off the porch, and then when they eventually remove the lid, a magnet taped inside triggers this Hall effect sensor, which tells the circuit board brain it's go time, and everything is set in motion. And as far as I'm concerned, relatively harmless, karmic justice has never looked so beautiful. So now all that was left was to find porches for all the boxes, so I sent out a call to all my followers on social media, and we received over 400 applicants who have all dealt with repeated package thefts in the past. And then from that, we narrowed the list down to just a handful, and soon we had packages out all over the country. We also set up a website so I could sit in my bag cave here and monitor all the boxes to see their current locations, record states, battery phone levels, and even check the camera feed on any box at any time. And things started out a bit rocky when we got a notification that the first box was stolen, and then we noticed it was intermittently moving all throughout the city. So while we were trying to locate it, we checked the feed and realized a UPS driver was so convinced the package was real, he scanned it and picked it up, and it was riding around in his truck. Next, when someone else picked up the box, we didn't have the lid seal fully worked out yet, so as they were walking around, glitter started to spill out.
Yo, Nick!
Which is, as they say,
Thank you very much. Giveaway. It's totally a scam. When you open it, it's gonna explode with...
At Kettle Brand, we're taking chips to the flavor frontier, where the vinegar sings and the Dijon sips. Knowing that traveling far and wide is what keeps our flavors the giants they are. Kettle Brand chips. No small flavors, no small potatoes.
Glitter.
this lady took it off a porch but opened it upside down. As soon as she heard the countdown timer though, she rushed it back to the porch she stole it from, just in time for nothing to happen. But then the thefts began to pile up, and we started hitting our stride.
Oh my god. I don't know. Put it back. Recovery sequence initiated. Operation Super Nasty Fart initiated. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
tracked down this package and recovered it by the dumpster. We walked by the store and they were sweeping and spraying Febreze, which felt amazing.
Just realize, motherfucker.
Operation Whoever Smelt It Dealt It initiated. Operation Blood Trumpet initiated.
Alright. Get it, okay. It smells like
And in the middle of all this, something happened that I still can't wrap my head around. One of the volunteers we sent a package to, who obviously knows my channel and follows me on social media, who I even interviewed to make sure he seemed legit, decided it would be a good idea to steal my package from me and never had any intention of either putting it out on his porch or sending it back to us. After a week of us being really nice and trying to work with him, he effectively admitted as such and then blocked and ghosted me. And it's just like, bro, if you're gonna steal from someone, don't pick the dude who just spent a year and a half of his life avenging theft of a $5 Amazon package. If I'm willing to get that petty over something I can easily reorder, what do you think I'm gonna do to the guy who steals the outcome of that year and a half of work? I quit my job at NASA to make YouTube videos, and I only make 12 of them a year, so I have plenty of time, and I love to obsess over these little details. Plus, even though this is more of a science channel than a prank channel, I love coming up with these ideas, like when I took this Freddy Krueger action figure and taped it to the back of my wife's car right in front of the backup camera. And so after a little detective work, I discovered he gave us his real name and phone number, but he shipped it to his buddy's address. So I found his real address and then did two relatively harmless things. The first is I've heard once the Scientologists have your contact info and know you're even remotely interested, they will follow you the rest of your life. And so since I had all his contact info, hypothetically, I might have gone on their website, said I was very interested in learning more, and then ordered $300 worth of their starting course material so they know he's a very high-value contact worth keeping track of. And the second thing was, I designed over 10 custom postcards just for him. For example, he's from Texas, so I thought a thank you note for his $500 donation to Texans for Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign would be nice. Or this registration confirmation for the upcoming furry convention. But the trick is, while I addressed it in his name, I went on Google Maps and looked up his neighbors' addresses, and hypothetically, I might have accidentally sent them to a random assortment of houses around him. A lot of these are great because it's the exact type of thing where the more you deny it, the more guilty you look. So some of these will inevitably be hand-delivered to his mailbox by his neighbors who spot the air, and he'll always be second-guessing just how many more there were and who's silently judging him at the neighborhood potluck. Now, I want to mention we encountered good people out in the world, too, who were trying to actually keep our boxes from being stolen. For example, this woman did that, but even still, the package was stolen just 30 minutes later by a professional porch pirate who knew exactly how to cover up her face. But then we said, hold up, roll that tape back. Unbelievably, she has the same body type and owns the exact same shoes and pants as that Good Samaritan. So we turned the footage over to the police to see if they, too, could appreciate the coincidence. And it just goes to show you that your conception of who a porch pirate is might be totally off. I'm just kidding. This was a super nice lady who took the package in for her neighbor. But it got us thinking, and instead of just always punishing the bad guys, we wanted to try and reward the good guys. So in some cases, we left it by an apartment mailbox, and we changed the label to a real name and left tons of contact information, like phone number and email, all over the label. And quite a few people took the package back to their house, but instead of opening it, they called to tell us they had our package because they were worried someone else would take it. And so instead of glitter and fart spray, I gave them $400 because that was the opportunity cost for them when they made the right choice. Thank you for being one of the good ones, man. Others, however, didn't make the call.
Surprise, motherfucker.
my favorite physics topics to discuss because it becomes so much easier to understand if you just have the right mental model. The key is to understand that the air all around us is a fluid, like water, just way less dense. For example, you can see the loud sound waves coming from the revolver Destin is shooting here. My friends at Bose supported this video, so I created a simple demo that would show the fundamentals of how they were able to achieve the insane amounts of noise cancellation in their headphones. I'll first turn on this speaker that is playing a tone of 500 hertz. You can hear it in this mic. Then if I turn on a second speaker playing the same tone, the waves will combine just like two waves crossing in the water, and it will be twice as loud. But if I reverse the polarity on one of the speakers, it will flip the wave upside down, and now instead of combining, the waves will cancel each other out, and the sound is much quieter than if only one of the speakers was on. This is the principle behind how they achieve noise canceling, like in the headphone 700s here. They measure and then play back a flipped pressure wave of the jet engine, which is why it goes so quiet. And it's really hard to demonstrate this without trying it on yourself, but this should give you an idea of what their engineers are capable of. This leaf blower, this is what my voice sounds like on the camera mic, but if you were to call me and I answered on these headphones, this is exactly what my voice would sound like. These things are just the best, especially when traveling. They've got a battery life of up to 20 hours, which has always been way more than enough for me, but even if the battery somehow dies, you can still use them as passive wired headphones. They have a